Hi, and thanks for checking out my channel. My name is Hannah, and this is Jar of Fireflies. Here you'll find content all about my life as an Orthodox Jewish homeschooling mother of 3. Okay, I am pretty stoked today. After being cooped up in the rain, in the house, we are getting out today. We are headed down to the Dallas Arboretum. I have not been there in probably like 10 years. So I am pretty stoked to go. We're also gonna be bringing my mom with us, who is a Texas Master Gardener. So I'm really excited to be able to gain all of the knowledge that she is able to give to us while we're there.
So I started getting food together while the kids were still asleep by grilling up some chicken on the stove and then grabbing some snacks and bread and things like that so that we would be able to have snacks for while we're walking around, but also some food to have a nice picnic at some point a little bit later in the day. Okay, we're just waiting on my mom to come so we can hit the road. So my mom arrived and we drove down to the park. You can see here we're already there at the Arboretum, seeing lots of social distancing reminders around. We had a lovely visit on the way down, and then we walked inside the park. My mom has a membership, so that was a nice little perk. And we did have to wear masks to get inside, but once we were inside, they were only recommended. So I just kept mine really handy. We're here, we've made it. It is so much prettier than I remembered. I mean, I knew it would be gorgeous, but yeah, it's stunning. The kids are just like in awe of all the different plants and all the flowers. So I'll take a bunch of clips and show you guys. The birds were chirping. It was nice and cool there at the beginning. We got there at about 9:30 in the morning was our arrival time. So there were not a lot of people there, as you can see. It was just really gorgeous. This right here is the test gardens, where I guess they're testing out different plants here in our climate. There was everything from flowers to vegetables to, everything in between, I guess. I don't know as much about plants as my mother, the master gardener, clearly. What I don't know about plants, I make up for in appreciation. I was getting so many ideas for things that I would love to do in my front yard, but I won't because, oh wow, the amount of work that goes into this. So it was nice just to be here and enjoy it and soak it all in. It is very hot, but it is very beautiful, so it's gonna be okay. And there is plenty of shade here. Okay, I just found some vending machines because I, in my brilliance this morning, forgot to pack water. Yeah, there's always something that I forget, but at least water is pretty easy to get out when we're out. No surprise, those were some very expensive waters. But we have waters now, and that's what matters. So we will continue on. I mean, if you're a mom, you know what I mean, right? We always forget something. If you're not a mom, you're probably still forgetting stuff. We're only human. So unfortunately, a lot of areas are closed off right now. I guess with trying to keep traffic in a certain direction on the paths that are wide enough and in one direction on paths that are not wide enough for two ways. But so much of the Arboretum was open and we were able to enjoy so many gorgeous views. They just have so many different features and things to see there. This right here is White Rock Lake. The Arboretum is directly next to White Rock Lake, which is a beautiful public park here in Dallas. It was really fun just walking along the paths, seeing all the green and the flowers, so many different water features. This one was a big favorite of my kids. We spent quite a bit of time here at this pond with the koi fish and the lily pads. There was a small little bit right over here where the kids jumped over to the other side. They just had a blast. One of my favorite parts to see were what they did in the shade. We have so much shade in our backyard, so it was really fun to see what variety I could do with those spaces. Okay, this part of the garden right here is one of my favorites. I've always loved how calm and peaceful this section of the garden is. I love these framed archways. I love the infinity pool that looks over into White Rock Lake, the beautiful green grass, and then the bushes and flowers along the sides. The amount of flowers they have at the Arboretum is just phenomenal. It was so much fun to walk amongst these paths and see all of the beautiful flowers that they have just blooming everywhere. I don't know if it's like this most of the year, but it was a gorgeous time of year for sure for us to be here in the summer. Even though the Arboretum is very large, they were only allowing 300 people at a time into the gardens to be able to walk around. So we definitely didn't feel we were ever too close to people. We always felt we had plenty of space, and the introvert in me really enjoyed this because I felt like I had the whole garden to myself most of the time. As we neared the end of the trails back towards the beginning of the Arboretum, we took a little side trek off into these vegetable gardens that they had up by one of their main buildings, and they had all these really unique tomatoes growing, different squash, all kinds of vegetables. It was really fun as someone who really enjoys growing vegetables to see what they were up to.
Okay, so we are done. We're headed back to the car now, and we're gonna head over to White Rock Lake and have a picnic there. We were here for about 2 hours, and it was awesome. We probably could have stayed longer if the trails were open in all directions, but they weren't, and that's okay because we did have a blast. So onward to the lake and a picnic lunch.
We found a great picnic table right near the lake under some shady trees with a great view of the boats and the trees and just really everything. It was perfect. The kids enjoyed sandwiches with the chicken that I had made earlier. I brought some mustard and some bread, just keeping it really simple. And then after lunch, we went over and found some ducks next to a dock. I wanted to take the kids out on the dock, but we got super sidetracked by these cool ducks that were just so friendly. It was really fun to watch the kids observe the birds running around and point out different kinds of birds and which ones were girls and which ones were boys. It was a neat experience for me as the parent. Next time we come here, I'll know for sure to bring something for the ducks to eat because, yeah, we didn't have anything to give them. After we'd played with the ducks for a little bit and hung out with them, we walked out onto the dock. It was a little nerve-wracking for me because there is deep water right next to it and there are no railings, but the kids really enjoyed it and they were quite brave. Maybe even a little too brave for me, except for this one spot. See right up there where this board is missing? My toddler got there and he was like, yeah, ain't happening, not gonna do it, He's like thinking about it, but he didn't. And then I grabbed his hand and he jumped over there and he was just so excited and so proud of himself that he jumped over there with my hand. Like, yeah, it was a great little moment. And then we spent a few more minutes with the ducks before heading home.
Okay, so we are back home. It was a lovely trip. It was so nice. I'm really glad my mom could come with us. It has been really hard to find time to spend with her because of the whole pandemic. They were really shut down for a while, staying home. We've been really shut down, staying home, not really going out with other people. So this was really nice to go do a nice outdoor activity with her that we could all enjoy together. And I know she had a blast too. So we're back home now, and the older two are cleaning up the living room right now so that we can make room to do some Legos together. And my toddler's over here watching a video because, dude, he is beat. He is tired. He spent half his time in the stroller and half his time running around, so he is very tired right now. So I'm gonna go help the kids clean up the living room, and I'm gonna get myself a soda or something because, gosh darn it, I'm tired too. And then we can get to work playing on our Legos. Do you guys hear that? Yeah, no sooner did I turn off the camera than the pod alarm started going off, so we have got to change the pod.
So if you are new around here, my oldest son does have type 1 diabetes. He was diagnosed about 2.5 years ago now. So this is pretty routine for us. Every 3 days we change his insulin pump, which is a pod. And yeah, so we were just taking care of that here. It just takes a few minutes, but it's something that definitely obviously needs to be done. This brave little kid is such a trooper. I will put a link up in the corner to a video about what it's like to be the mom of a type 1 diabetic. I did a whole day in the life video, so you'll get to see pod changes and lots more, kind of what our days are like, the ins and outs of being a mom of a kid with this disease. Right there in the middle of the pod change, his Dexcom starts going off that is telling me that his blood sugar is low. So I grab him some sugar and then I get back to continuing on taking care of his pod change. I will link that video of the day in the life of a type mom diabetic in the description box below as well. Okay, so we got the pod changed, we got the living room cleaned up, and then my son and I sat down to play with some Legos together. This is one of our favorite activities to do, just the two of us, and what we're working on right now is the Harry Potter Hogwarts Lego set. So we're doing the Great Hall. Okay, so fun story. We got this Lego set, which is a huge Lego set. There are so many pieces involved here. And what happened is my son opened up every single bag that came with this Lego set. So they have the bags sorted with the pieces in order so that you're not having to look at all the pieces at once, but just some of them. And he mixed them all up together. And then he mixed up also several other sets of Harry Potter Legos. So we ended up having to sort through so many Legos to find the pieces that we needed. Before we knew it, it was dinner time. So my daughter and I decided we would make dinner together. So what we're working on here is pan frying some chicken so that we can make some chicken piccata. It was very delicious and it was really fun to be able to spend that time with her.
Okay guys, and with that, I'm gonna have to call it a wrap. I'm sorry I didn't get to film as much during the rest of the day after we got home from the Arboretum in the lake as I had hoped to. I just was really enjoying the day with my kids, and then when we got home, they were really tired, so they needed a lot more of me than they normally would. And that is okay, that is my job. So I had the camera off most of the day, just, you know, being with them and giving them the attention that they needed today. So we just finished up our delicious dinner of the chicken piccata that my daughter helped me make. And we will just kind of wind down with that. And then after I finish cleaning up, we're gonna go into a movie night so we can all kind of continue winding down before bed. Thank you all so much for watching today. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. It is a small thing, but it helps me out a lot. And be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already so that you don't miss any of my future videos. Thank you all again, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in my next upload.